Right, that's one he talks about.
Equipment. So
But that's the one I have already.
Yes.
so but a lot of components are still.
Anyway, you asked me if it's okay.
So is Cindy keeping busy?
Yeah, yeah,
Is this your old?
she's trying. Actually, I think she's just enjoying being just like getting out of the refrigerator. Just chilling out.
Refresh.
Yeah, I think you gotta do that once in a while with the squirrels.
Okay,
So I can keep this myself.
that date, is it the first Tuesday in March?
Second Tuesday.
Second Tuesday, okay, thank you.
Don't forget January, presidential primaries this year.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I thought the same thing.
Are they still doing, there was some talk that they were gonna change the.
Until we hear about it, I have no clue. I wish I had the information, but.
you all set, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'm good.
Come on over.
Just looking at the floor.
Oh, just don't step in that spot. That's the solution to these problems, you just put a table over it. Band-Aid.
Well, this building isn't antique. I went to school here.
How many years Dick Dixon's been dead? A lot of years, and he refinished the school the last time, that's a long time ago.
I did though. And in fact, 8th grade was right on this side, 6 kids. 7th grade,
I went to a two-room school.
6th, 7th, and 8th,
Three of us. in
3,
eighth
4, and
grade.
5 went
I
on
was
the other
advanced.
side, and the rest of the kids went over on Cherry Hill.
Oh, those were good years.
Yep.
I remember last year, Jeffrey, you had mentioned that you had some culverts left. Are those all used up and gone now?
I actually just purchased some more.
Yeah. So you've used all of those?
Yeah. I think I had 3 left.
You mentioned.
Color prices have gone up since the last time we had talked.
Mhm.
Again,
Yeah.
18-inch, 20-foot long, are $565 a piece right now.
How many do you need to replace?
To be honest with you, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know it's above 7.
Are they plastic? Well, I call it plastic,
The
fiberglass.
new ones are. A lot of the older ones are metal. A lot of the ones we have to replace are metal.
You also mentioned in your notes a new boiler.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly. Could you have a rough cost on that?
I don't yet. I have to get Mike from Cardigan Mechanical, thank you.
Thank you.
Down to give us kind of a quote on that.
Is this in your budget?
It is not.
It's in the notes.
It was in my notes with all of this, all my fun stuff. Did you get one of those?
Yeah, I did.
It's in there. The estate guy came in to do his inspections and all that. He recommended to start looking in the near future to get it replaced because they are going, that boiler is pretty much obsolete. Within the next year or two, you're not gonna be able to get internal parts for that thing. So if anything is to happen to it, you're not gonna be able to fix anything inside.
What does it run on?
It's number 2 heat fuel. So the burner parts are fine. You'll be able to get all the burner parts, but it's the internal mechanisms that heat all the forced hot water and all that stuff. You won't be able to get anything to replace that anymore.
You had 0 expenditures year to date for paving. Has any been done this year at all?
Not this year, no.
Okay. And in preparation for paving, does the highway department actually have to do something to the road? Or
Yeah,
is
well, a
it-
lot of the times we end up grading it and getting everything set so that it's ready for them to pave, so that basically all they have to do is come in with pavement, not.
Okay, so they don't have anything to do with the foundation structure?
Nope. Nope, we maintained it all. There is some stuff that they end up doing on the, like up on Route 4, we ended up having them pull some of the stuff back. Because they have a skid steer, which can get a lot closer to Route 4 than we can with anything that we've got to dig in there without tearing up Route 4.
But you're only paving paved roads.
Right,
What are you
exactly.
digging up? What are you grading? You
Well-
can't be doing any of that.
No, the stuff that we were talking when we did the road ends.
Just the aprons?
The aprons last year, we had to dig part of it back to meet Route 4. When you mold into an existing
Right, I
pavement,
understand
you
that,
have to dig down.
but, okay, you just made it sound like you have
No,
a
no,
lot
no.
of preferred words, and
Exactly.
that's not
Sorry.
solid.
Sorry, that wasn't the
I didn't
intention.
want Sandy to go away thinking that you did all this grading.
No.
Well, that's the way Sandy's taking it, because.
No, we have to grade the road to make it smooth, so that they can,
But you're paving an existing paved road.
Yeah, I'm talking
no.
about a dirt road.
This,
They don't
she's
pave
asking
it.
about a dirt road, that we're.
Right, but yeah, the town
You don't
hasn't been
pave.
paving, dirt roads.
Correct.
But it would be beneficial to you.
Oh,
Right,
God.
yes,
I
right.
have,
You've
all the aprons that I did,
Yes, but you're not doing any long stretches.
She's
Not yet.
asking
All
about
right.
a dirt road.
that's going to be the next process.
Well, you'll never get that much money. How much money does $20,000 do?
Well, it's 40 now, you said, right, Jen?
40,000.
I asked
does-
for 40, yeah, but
No, I mean, it doubled in terms of
the
cost.
prices of what it
It's
was,
usually $70,000 what, to do 1 mile of road.
1 mile.
Right.
Right.
But the thing being is when, that's said, 1
I
mile
know
does
it's
not,
both,
right, that's
both
2
ways,
ways.
yeah.
That doesn't go just side here and go 1 mile down.
right,
Yeah, it don't go
that's,
like.
that's a half a mile one direction and
Right.
a half a mile back.
Right.
That's roughly 5 inches of base and 1 inch top. This is roughly what they end up doing. So it's 5 inches of, most of the time it's ½ inch, and then a top layer of 3/8 on top of that.
Well, I think it was downright stupid to take the pavement off Neal's Lane and Pine Grove Lane.
it seems like it would be easier to maintain a paved road than it does a dirt road.
Well, he didn't do it.
No,
It is.
no, I'm just saying, and I don't know
It-
anything about this.
It is easier to maintain a paved road.
Mhm.
And he's-
The initial cost is higher
Right.
to lay a paved road,
Mhm.
but in the long run, you have a lot less maintenance on a paved road than you do as long as you upkeep it.
Mhm.
You have a lot less maintenance.
Yeah, well, once you take the pavement off, you never get it back.
Right.
Well, it
They
seems,
promise it's coming back, but it never does.
Right.
when we look at the budget, the highway department budget is under such scrutiny because yours is the largest budget in town.
Yep.
And you have major pieces of equipment that cost tons of money to replace. If we had equipment, and I'm a firm believer that if you want to do a job properly, you need to have the tools to do it with. So I'm very much in favor of working on replacing equipment and getting whatever is needed in that regard. Because when you look at the budget and what we have right now for parts and repairs is $52,000, which is half the cost of that 2012 grader that you mentioned the other night.
So right now, I'm actually sitting at 60,902
Well, even more. I mean, so we would not necessarily have,
out of a $58,000 repair.
we would not have that figure if we had equipment that was in good condition. So I guess what I would ask is what provisions are we making to get equipment? You know, to prepare for replacing equipment.
So I've been on the phone with John Deere, with Cat, rigorously for months, trying to find a solution, whether it be a rental grader, whether it be something to get something, another one up in here, because we have had nothing but bad luck with ours this year. I think it's been down more than it's been on the road.
So what about rentals, leasing? Is that?
So the rentals are different than a lease.
Okay.
So we're talking, I've been talking to them about getting a rental piece of machinery up here for a month or so to help us try to get things back up to where
Okay.
they need to be.
So that would just be a short-term
Be
solution?
a short-term solution for now.
Mhm.
Last time I talked to John Deere, they don't have one. They haven't had one all summer.
Too
Everybody,
late now anyway, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, well, as long as the weather don't switch over to below freezing, then we can still be grading, but
Yeah, it's supposed to rain all weekend again.
I don't see a warrant article for a new grader. Are you not anticipating putting a warrant?
I'm going to put one on, but I have not had time to write it yet.
Well, the selectmen will
Do you know
write it.
anything about leases? Can you lease?
Lease
any of this
purchase
equipment?
is, realistically, lease purchase is the only way to get us into something newer
Mhm.
with a less of a hit to the taxpayers.
What kind of money are you talking about there?
When I looked into it last year to do the lease purchase, if I remember correctly, I don't have the numbers in front of me. It was about $67,000 for a brand new machine a year.
That's just to lease.
For a 5 to 7 year lease.
Five
That's a
to
lease
six.
purchase.
Oh.
So at the end of the 7 years, you won't.
Mhm.
No.
Isn't that how we got the last one?
Yes.
And
Back
realistically,
in the 80s.
It's 30 years old.
30,
yeah,
yeah.
Was the
ours,
first year I moved here.
ours right now is 35. It's an 88. It's old, it's tired. I mean, you figure it's got 68 miles of road, roughly 60 miles of dirt that is paved in one direction. So you have to triple it.
What other equipment do you have?
Oh God, we got the backhoe, the loader, 3 CDL trucks, the pickup, odds and ends, other equipment,
What is your top priority in terms of
grader,
getting these?
100% grader,
And then
then the backhoe.
the backhoe? Okay.
The backhoe's gotta be second.
Police department just got a second-hand police cruiser, so how do you feel about purchasing a second-hand grader that's?
I don't have a problem with it, that's actually the route that I've been looking into, because like I was saying the other night in the selectmen's meeting, there I have a lead on a 2012 with 6,200 hours on it for 95 grand.
And
It's substantially less of a cost, but it's a good 20 years newer than what we currently have.
Mhm. What can you do, Miss Selectman?
We aren't agents to expend for anything. And it's happened over the years. They vote you in to take care of their business, and then they tie your hands by not letting you expend from the capital reserve funds.
Can you expend from the general fund?
No,
No,
no, can't touch that.
Never?
No.
no.
What
Well,
happens to that money?
the only thing, well, it's not real money. It's very
It's on
hard.
paper.
It's on paper. It's very hard to explain. If we raise and appropriate $100,000 and we only spend 50,000 basically goes into the general fund, but it's only on paper. And the only thing that we can take from the general fund is a certain percentage to defray taxes.
Okay,
And we-
exclusively for taxes?
Right, and we can do that when it's tax setting time.
Okay, thank you for explaining that.
So I have a real issue with the bottom line. And I'm sure you know that, and only because, and I'm with Sandy, I really believe that we need to, there's 2 things. We need to have the right tools to do the right job, and we need to pay people for what they do. But I can't swallow that number. So Lee presented numbers to us the other night, and I think you have
I've
those
got
numbers. Are you in agreement with any of those changes that you know that
be honest with you, I didn't even look at them.
Well, I think we need to.
Because to be honest with you, the way Leaf was the other night, I was not
I
impressed.
don't wanna throw names. Again, we're here as the budget committee to work with you. We're not here to be angry at the selectmen, we're not here to be angry with
I'm
anybody.
not being angry with anybody.
Well, let's leave names out of it. So I just wanna know,
It's
If
roughly
any of
$100,000 less is what he proposed.
Right.
455.3 on one, and 441.
I've looked at the bottom line, but I haven't gone through any of it. That's what I've looked at. That's it.
so let's look at those and see if any of them are realistic for you. So chloride, I heard you say you've already overspent your budget for that this year. Is that true?
No.
Oh, I thought you said.
Chloride,
then
I did not
Oh,
spend.
then I missed-
Salt,
Oh, okay. then I-
salt and chloride are completely separate.
Right. So is that, so apparently you didn't use any chloride this year.
I have not received a bill for it yet. I've ordered.
Have you ordered it for next year, or you're not gonna lay down chloride now?
No.
So whatever you
I
order.
ordered it for next year, yes.
Okay,
Because this year, we had nothing but rain all summer,
I know,
so
yeah.
what was the point?
Right, so why can't you order it now and put it in the tank? So-
Right.
It is in the tank. I've got 3,000 gallons sitting there now.
And how big's the tank?
3,000 gallons.
All right.
so you've
But-
already ordered it, but you
I've
just haven't gotten
ordered-
the bill.
I've ordered it out of what I have for money.
So then we could take that 8,000 away. If you've already ordered it and you got it and we can pay the bill before the end of the year.
Yes, but if you take all of that right out of there, I won't have any, because there is no way to not have to reorder it again to be able to reuse it.
Okay, well, that's my question.
So roughly, you get about a mile out of 1,000 gallons of calcium, that's it. For dust control.
Right.
That's about a mile of road on 1,000 gallons of
Well,
calcium.
I would like if you don't put it on Sergeant Hill because it makes a mess of our cars.
As a rule, I don't. But that's.
Okay, but
we have a
realistically.
tendency, but realistically, I wouldn't take it all out, that's
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, because you've got 8,500 sitting there right now that you haven't used.
Right, I don't know what, I mean, I can't predict what next year's gonna bring, I don't know whether it's gonna bring a hot summer, I mean, if you end up with a hot summer, you end up using more calcium. So it's-
I understand that,
But
Jeff.
what is the bill
but
for the 3,000 you
I
have?
have no idea, Ed, I have not
Is
seen
it
it,
$8,500?
I don't know.
What?
Last I knew it was $1.75 a gallon, I don't know what the bill is, I have not seen it yet. And I've had it for 2 weeks, I still haven't seen the bill, I ordered it 6 weeks ago.
You mean you don't know what the bill is? And
I don't know what the bill is because it hasn't come in yet.
But
Well,
I
have
thought
Sarah
if
pick
you're
up the
going to
phone
order
and call.
something, you want to know what you're going to have to pay for it.
Well, that's like I said, last I knew it was $1.75 a gallon, but I haven't seen the bill yet. To know
So
what
then,
So how many gallons did you get?
20, 25 and a half, 20, 25, 47, something like that. 2,547 gallons.
so then I think it's realistic that you can cut this to 8,000 as the selectmen suggested. They're not asking to take
No.
everything away.
Yeah.
But if you've already got 8,500 there, you're gonna expend it, that's still,
I don't think we'll expend the
Right.
chloride that's there, I don't. I really don't.
but that's not gonna help you for next year, because
Right.
you can't carry over anything.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying, I think it's realistic
That's
to do
43.75.
yeah,
And 2,500 gallons, you said $1.75 a gallon?
Yeah, that was last I knew.
Yeah, 43.75
But still, that's
roughly. So that's probably close, like maybe 5,000, would you say,
yeah,
for that bill?
Yeah, rough.
What do I know?
right. So to take it down to 8,000 seems very realistic, and that you still won't be short.
Right. I honestly have, like I said, I did not go number
Well,
for number.
I
line for line.
suggest that we put that down to 8,000.
We can write it.
Isn't the more intelligent way to do it? How much do you think you're actually going to need
But he doesn't
in
know.
terms of,
It's hard, like I said, you
Well,
can't
you-
really
you've got to do
anticipate.
some averaging, I mean, you know,
Well,
a good
Sandy
engine.
just did. That's what Sandy just did, her calculation. And her calculation, what did you say?
It's 2,500 gallons at $1.75 a gallon.
Who-
For-
Didn't you say 2,500 gallons?
Yeah,
Roughly.
That's
That's
what
what
she
I filled the tank in with.
Okay, but I'm just saying that there are two issues here, there's quantity and there's price. We have very little control over the price, but the quantity we can more or less estimate versus in terms of past experience.
yeah, well, that's what she just did.
No, I understand that, but I mean, I'm talking from Joe's point of view, that this is the sort of place where you have to begin.
Yeah, and you
Well,
can't go
saying
back
I
and
have
say,
no
like
idea
you said,
what
you
the
couldn't
bill
use
is.
any this year.
Right, it
because
couldn't
of
use
weather.
anything this year because of the weather. The problem is that we can't anticipate what next summer's gonna look like. It could be hotter than hell,
No, we can't.
and we gotta use a lot of it. That's where we're at.
There's something called probability, you know?
I mean, even if we took that down to say 6,000, I think we'd be okay with 6,000 as a number on it, to be honest with you. James, the tank is, I've got 3,000 gallons sitting there now.
And
Really,
again, Jeffrey, my intent is not to short you.
No.
But we need to look at this realistically. We can't present this
Absolutely.
budget to the taxpayers.
absolutely, I knew it was,
Well,
I
hey,
knew
guys.
it was gonna be done.
The more we can save in the operation, the more we can contribute towards this great.
I think if we bring it down to 6, we'll be okay.
And it appears you were in agreement with culverts. They put down.
Culvert
10, you
needs,
said
culvert
10.
needs to be 10.
And DOT testing, how many full-time workers do you have
4.
now? 4 now?
Plus a part-time.
4 plus part-time, but part-time have to be tested too, right?
Mhm.
It depends on who they call.
They don't
Nope.
test them?
No,
Part-time.
because of the company we use.
Okay.
If they do not have a CDL, they do not need to be tested, which is complete. I'll keep my comment to myself.
That's right. Okay, so you had asked for 900 and the selectman had suggested, or Lee had suggested 800.
Oh, he left it at 900 then. Oh, no.
No,
900. That's what Sarah said.
oh, because that's not what.
That's
Rob
not what's
was
written on
thinking.
either one of them.
Remember that there were 2 different
Right.
suggestions.
Well, that just came from Sarah.
Right, but you have, that's different than what, Lee had proposed.
Either one of them only has 800.
Yeah.
Because
800,
I've got them both right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, well, Catherine did, I just copied them off there.
I was gonna say, I got all 3 of them right here, what I proposed.
And I got the whole 3.
So, Is it, I mean, we're only talking
don't-
$100, but
Oh,
is
fine.
800 realistic?
I honestly don't know, because it depends on if they go up
Because that's the.
at all in pricing at any of these
But
places.
you can't figure that, you gotta say, and again, I hate using past experience, but the past experience, and we know, I know, having worked in that office and having been a selectman, that
Mhm.
they can pull anybody anytime. You could get pulled 2 months in a row, or you could get pulled never.
I was
So-
pulled 4 times in less than a month's time.
Does that tell you different?
Well, the worst part is that every time I walked out, it was all clean.
Of course.
I don't have to worry about it.
Well, I would hope you didn't have to worry. If you did have to worry, you shouldn't be in that position. So, we're talking $100, is that realistic or not?
I would think so.
Well, if it's not, it has to be paid
It has to be
anyway,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's gotta be paid, so it's not like, I mean, $100 is $100, but I think the average testing now is $135 anyway. At minimum, so.
Fuel,
Okay, just to go back,
Whoops.
what's the final figure for DOT testing?
800. Fuel, you've asked for 50,000, but is there another cost that's included in that? Because the fuel's only been like
17.
17,000.
That's still,
But it's not
that's still 50% of what you
That's
asked
50%
for last year.
Right,
Yeah,
so
but we're almost done the year.
we haven't hit winter yet.
So is this heating fuel or
No,
is
this is
just your
just
trucks?
diesel fuel,
Just for your
just diesel fuel.
equipment?
That's fuel and gas.
Okay,
My bills from the average this time of year, starting in November and December, average anywhere from 5 to 7 grand
a month?
a month. Credits.
Alright, so that would only be another 10 grand to the 20, so that'd be 30 grand.
30, 46. So that'd be almost 50,000 probably.
If he's averaging, he said for November, December, 5,000,
5 to 7
5 to 7,
In
still.
past years, yeah.
in past years.
Yes,
Okay, so it's got
so if
20,
he's only spent
25,
20,
30. Yeah, 30, I'm sorry.
Well, in February, the bill was $43.94, so close to, 5,000.
It depends on
5,000 too.
fuel prices too, they're projected to go up again. But what do I know? I've been trying to keep an eye on it, but
So do you think 40,000 is reasonable?
I think, more than
Do
the
you
50.
think
Sorry, that?
40,000 to take?
Yes,
you-
no, and I think that probably is okay, because if you're saying you've done 20,000 so far, and even if you take 7,000 a month for November and December, that still brings you below 40,000 for
Right.
this year.
Right. I mean, I'm in agreement with the 40,000, whatever everybody else thinks.
That's assuming, then we look at the factor of the price, and we're assuming that the price is not high. It's so hard to determine these
Of course
days.
it is.
But I mean, the price of gasoline is now going down because there's less demand, and it's a function, the price goes up, but the demand goes down, so that the price doesn't go up. It's all very confusing.
For heating fuel, does he deliver only when you ask him to, Jeffrey, or are you on a budget? Like a
No,
fixed
they-
delivery?
they deliver every time that they're delivering fuel. Every time.
You don't use the same
Nope.
fuel that the town does.
Evans delivers everything,
But,
Is there a reason for that?
because we can't get locked in with Innovate, or
Why?
whoever we use.
When you
why
can't-
you can't? I can't get locked in within it.
Because every time that Sarah goes to lock in the town shed, they won't do it, because they can't access the tanks.
Because why?
Because the second tank in the other building, they never call before they wanna come in to look at it, and that's the one they always try to look at first. So if they can't look at that one, they never bother to look at the other one. And they want us to run the kerosene in the one for the new town shed. Even though it's been number 2 fuel for God knows how many years.
But that's should be up to you to, yeah.
But what's the point of switching when Evans is there every week?
Well,
Yeah,
there's
the
gonna
cost-
be a huge cost savings, that's the reason.
But we've never had a problem with Evans. Their fuel never gels.
Right, but now you can't compare them to Innovo because they bring the stuff, fuel here for the town hall. And that,
And it's kerosene for here.
We have kerosene.
No,
We don't use kerosene, we use number 2 fuel. It's never gel. And that tank for the new town.
all right,
shed
so
goes
even
up.
if you use number 2, the town office is number 2.
Yep.
This
It's
doesn't
inside.
gel.
My
So
tank's
you're saying
outside.
it's outside.
My tank's outside. One tank's inside, but it's in a cold room.
Have you ever tried using additive to keep it from?
We do, but
You
we
do?
mix our additive right into our diesel tank anyway.
No,
But-
but I mean to keep it from freezing.
We don't put any additive in Evans fuel whatsoever. And
No,
never
you're
had,
missing my
even
point.
the heating fuel, we've never had to. That's the point.
But I'm saying if it's a huge cost savings to
Right.
put the fuel outside, would it be beneficial to put an additive in to keep it from freezing, to save all that money?
But it's not that much money.
That's what I'm asking.
Difference. We fluctuate from a market rate, yes.
Right, but, yeah, I mean, I've seen the market, go high, we're locked in at $3.39, and, the market goes up to $5-6. There's a big, cost difference there.
Right. But can you anticipate that market going that high?
If you're locked in,
If we have
yes,
a world war, we probably will.
you're at $4 now.
Right, but we've been with Evans for how long?
Yeah,
Down at that township.
yeah.
How many times has this come up? In years past? Why it hasn't been switched over? Just asking, because I don't know. This is the second year since that it's come up. And the reason that we haven't switched is because of the issues that we've had with previous oil companies in the past.
Right, but you can't take and use that, scenario on every oil company,
No. But Evans is there every single week. No matter what. They're there anyway. Delivering gas, delivering diesel fuel. They've already got it on the truck.
But
It's not
it's
a
still,
cost.
we gotta talk about cost. I have no idea about Innovative, none whatsoever, except that I know Sarah uses it personally, and she has nothing but praise for it, so I don't know.
Well, the town office is used on it.
Right,
So,
right, and we have
it
Praise
never
for.
froze yet.
Innovative,
Oh, yes, right,
Yeah,
this is
we've
one
only
funny
had-
name, and I can never
Yeah.
remember.
A year.
Since he was in Danbury.
Because
Oh,
Innovate,
was in Danbury?
that's right, his kid was the one that was hit by the car, right there by the post office. And they sold that house and moved to Canaan. And he started the oil company.
I don't know anything about it, except I just know that Sarah said on a personal level that they have been excellent, and for the town office, she said they've been really good.
But if you have something that works, why fix it? But
Oh, well said,
I'm just
Jenny.
one person.
I have a lot of money in my wallet.
who do you use, Polly?
Oh, we pay high, we pay Dead River, but it's just because my husband's loyal.
Oh, well, that's what Jeffrey's saying, though. He feels that
Yeah,
he's
but
got
I
good
would-
service,
I wouldn't choose it.
but this is his decision, isn't it?
No, I'm saying, you're saying, I'm not loyal, it would save me money,
Oh, I go to the
but really it pays
cheapest.
the bill.
I go to the cheapest.
Okay, so where were we
Alright,
now?
so we're beating this to death. I guess that we were looking at fuel, and the suggestion was 40,000. Do we agree on that or not?
No, it's
We
not.
did.
Well,
I
yeah,
thought we moved on to heating.
Well,
Yeah.
but we had talked 40,000, but the group had not made a decision.
Well, I wrote it in. I think we could discuss this
Okay,
offline
Alright.
another time, but
yeah, all
I
right.
wrote it in, so we
Then
have
the-
it on record.
Heating fuel. You asked for 11. You anticipate spending 5,000 more this year, or no, for 3,000 more this year? Because you spent 66, according to the figures that we have. You had spent 66. I don't know what-
For February and March, it's roughly $5,000
For February and March.
of this past year, right? So if you add another 5,000 in there, that does bring it up to 11,000, so I think we should leave it there and see.
So 11.
Because I think that's what we ran into last year, was we were over budget on heating fuel. Because we didn't have enough in there.
What do you mean you were over? Oh, you ran
We
over.
ran over budget on
Gotcha,
heating
gotcha,
fuel last year.
Yeah.
Because when we rolled into February and March, we didn't have enough to, because we were so far
Everybody
into
agree?
it.
Well, the prices were crazy last year.
But they didn't do any paving this year.
No.
No,
It was
they're
just
gonna,
No,
they're gonna have to do patching, right?
yeah, paving's gone, though. The paving line item's gone.
No, it hasn't gone from
It's
us.
still here. It's
That's
listed
not
at
from us, that's a
$40,000. agreed to.
No, but
What was?
the numbers that are on here are not right anyway.
Remember
What
that
would
that's
it
not,
cost you to pay that
remember Lee, at
extra
the
piece
end
up
of
to
the
the
meeting,
bridge on North?
and I don't know why there wasn't discussion between the two selectmen, but it was at the end, it was just handed to us and said, we'll let the budget committee
I
make
know,
them.
but this is what Sarah sent today to me.
Right, but that's
It's
because
$40,000.
that was what,
Roughly, probably
that's
70,
what
Seventy.
Greg
roughly.
Jeffrey had recommended. So, what do you anticipate doing for patching and paving
This year,
this next year, because you didn't do any this year?
I didn't do anything this year, no. Because
Do you have a plan? I guess that's what I'm
they
asking.
do have a plan.
So what's your plan?
I just asked him, he said,
I'm sorry,
when I asked him, sorry?
I wasn't paying attention, I'm sorry.
When I talked to Jeff yesterday and I asked about what he might want to pay so that we get more paved road, which is I think a long-term good goal for the town. He was talking about continuing
Turnpike Road,
turnpike up to the bridge at
at least the
Millbrook,
Millbrook Bridge.
and he just gave me an estimate that he thought that would cost $70,000.
Right.
Wait a minute, we're talking patching and paving.
So
That's
we
not
do,
doing new road, that's,
so we do two separate line items. We do the regular paving and patching, and we also do a warrant article.
right, but that's always been just to fix paved roads, it was never to pave roads.
It's
It was
been
to
the same.
repave a paved
Right.
road.
Repave a pave, not to extend on
Right.
dirt.
That's not the way that I've understood it.
Never been
Yeah,
that
it was
way.
always to
Never. Never has
keep
been,
what paved roads we have,
exactly.
up to,
Well, either way, we've been cold patching
And paving.
and fixing potholes and everything else throughout the year anyway. We get cold patches through
well,
blacktop.
that's something that's always been done.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been done, so.
But you didn't do any of it this year.
That's because I had cold patch. I didn't have to buy any this year because I had it.
You had it, so
I
you
had
had
stockpile.
done it actually.
I had a stockpile
Right, so
already.
you've been doing it.
Yeah, we've been doing it all
Okay,
year.
because the way they talked, it was like none had been done.
No, the cold patching has been done. We haven't done any paving this year. We haven't retopped anything or anything like that. But we have done cold patching.
So when you're asking for this $40,000,
So what used to cost us $20,000 to redo is now double.
but I'm asking, is this to do patching?
No,
I-
this is to add on
See, I'm not supporting that. Okay,
to
So
with,
then you need two line items.
then you need to separate them.
You need to
It
separate
needs to
them.
be patching and then
A
paving.
patching item and a paving item.
That's right,
yes,
because it
Right.
needs two separate items.
The
exactly.
paving has usually been a warrant item.
But that was a warrant article always.
But you're gonna
Right
pick,
here, 75,000.
they're in one.
Don't you love it?
You have one in the regular budget, and then you have one that is a warrant article. They're
Am I
combined.
completely wrong? I mean,
No,
To make up the
it's
difference.
getting all screwed up as far as I can see. The thing being is, yeah, I got a simple question, and let's make it simple, all right, Jeffrey?
Yes.
All right, patching, what's it cost you for patching? Just patching,
It depends on what they're making it at up
but,
in Lebanon.
a ballpark
So
figure.
a 10-wheeler load, last I knew,
yeah,
was about anywhere from $400 to $1,000.
all right.
It's
So,
roughly.
all right, so I'm just trying to break down that,
That's
paving and
just
patching.
a
So
10-wheeler
it's
load.
$1,000 for,
Just one
patching.
10-wheeler load of
so
patch
that $19,000 that's left,
is rolled into paving.
right. But the way it's been done before is that paving that was used on the existing paved roads. See,
exactly.
you're talking now on extending what dirt roads we have into paved roads.
But who made that decision about, where was that decision made? About just,
Right, where does it say anywhere that it has to be specifically used for just repairing the
Because the
existing
thing,
pavement
Because
roads?
the paved roads have come into bad shape, such
Right.
horrible shape,
right,
that you gotta fix what you have before you bring on more. I mean, because.
I'm not saying that we're not going to,
You're not gonna what?
I'm-
No,
that repair the pavement roads that we have.
But that's been the understanding with the select board
Right,
and
so
the
that's
road
why-
agents in the
And we're
past.
trying to get,
Jim, do you understand that?
understanding of
I understand it, but.
what you're trying to look at
Was that-
compared to what we are used to
not that
being
I'm-
said.
No, so
to be
then
done. We're used to paving being paved, the existing paved roads. You're now talking about not doing that, but going to pave these gravel
It was
roads.
me, I'm sorry, I introduced the subject.
No, it's important, I mean,
No.
because,
We need to get more pavement roads in this town, 100% agree.
Right, you can't ignore your paved roads that you already
He's
have.
not ignoring them, he's patching
I'm
them.
not.
He's patching them.
no.
No, it's not.
What's cold patch then?
Cold patch doesn't do anything,
No.
it fits the pothole.
If
Fits a
in the
pothole.
pothole, then they smooth it over and
Right.
roll
Okay,
it.
all right, so
So
that's
that
okay.
takes care of the pothole, right?
We're mixing up all our categories here. I mean, when you've got a pothole on a paved road, it's a
What-
cold patch.
What
What
paved
is the
roads
maintenance
that
really
we have
required on existing
need
paved
fixing?
roads?
Williamstown Turnpike. Really need to be fixed right
The
now.
two,
Williamson.
Williams Hill and Turnpike Road need to be fixed. The flats on Williams Hill and from the parsonage all the way up needs to be fixed. But if I'm gonna fix this one, it's gonna be ground up and culverts are gonna be replaced and it's gonna go from pavement from here all the way to Millbrook Bridge.
Okay.
What is your cost to do that? Do you have an idea?
I don't have an idea yet. I've been trying to get a whole blacktop all summer long to get them out here to give me a quote. I just barely got a phone call back from them today because their crews, their bosses have been out paving all summer. Well, when they could.
Yeah, because they don't have any crews.
They don't have
well,
any crews in
we know
the weather.
$75,000 into a paving, special warrant article's not gonna do anything from past experience. So, you're not gonna begin to repair the paved roads, much less add another, what, quarter mile?
That would be more than that.
I understand his point though, because from, where,
From where the state road ends,
right.
all the way up through, it
That's
needs to be
awful.
ground
Oh,
up.
yeah, I know that.
It needs to be reclaimed
The end of that
and
bridge.
the culverts needs to be reset.
Oh, yes.
Holes.
We're not in disagreement with you at all, but
The thing being is like, Bonnie's trying to
we've got
say
such
is,
bad paved roads that need attention.
right, that and come time for the town meeting, that's gonna be a big question.
It always has been,
Yeah.
always has been.
What are you gonna pay? And when you say, you're gonna pay the gravel road, all right, and we understand that, but there's gonna be people that say, what about the existing paved roads that break it up and need attention paid to?
And they've always brought that up,
Yeah,
always.
Well, I think it seems to be that the controversy right now, you know, and what was discussed at the selectmen's meeting is that everybody in town feels that the roads are in such bad condition, the dirt roads, right? So why not go ahead and pave some dirt roads so that people can see something visible has been done? We have more paved roads in town, and you can drive on them much easier than you can on the dirt road that had all the potholes in it.
right, but what happens to the
Except we
existing
can't afford
paved
to
road
keep
that's,
So, well,
Worse
we'll
and
take
worse.
care of those too, but, you know, yeah, okay, well, anyway, that's my point.
because that's gonna be a big thing, because you did nothing with paving at all this year. The 20,000 that was in your budget and the
The
50,000.
20,000 that's in the budget isn't there. It had to go be used to spend the rest of that truck.
But it was still there, but then you had the 50,000, there was a warrant article that's not being spent.
Can you encumber some of the stuff that you
No.
haven't spent?
No.
It'd be much easier if that were the case.
Yeah, but
Is
you
that,
can't.
because that's because of state law.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
You
well,
can't get somebody out to
yeah,
skim coat the roads that need it, so,
Wouldn't be any good anyway.
no.
To drag shimmy to one of those roads, it would be wasting your money.
No, she's not talking,
I'm talking about
The paved roads is,
the two roads that need fixing.
Right, the drag shim, either
Oh,
one,
yeah, right,
either one of
yeah.
those roads wouldn't do a damn bit of good.
No.
It would just, it would break up.
Which roads?
Williams Hill and
Myself.
the rest of this one.
It wouldn't do any good, cause if you drag shimmed it, you're drag shimming it anywhere from
half
a
inch.
half inch to an inch. And within a year, as soon as you drive over them with the plows, they're gonna tear them all to crap.
So we're talking about the, whatever that figure is right now.
$40,000
That's
or
what's
whatever
there.
it is.
Shall we go on to the next council?
So, no, you
And come back
can't,
to
because you have to make up your mind if you're gonna give him money to do the patching or not. And
I
are
was
you gonna-
suggesting that we come back to this line item after we go through the rest
I
of it.
think we have to discuss this with the budget committee afterwards.
Yeah,
So we're just talking figures right now, so.
phone and internet, I don't have a problem with that. You're supposed to be getting internet, right?
Oh, well, as soon as I can get the budget for it, cause they won't put it in until I gotta get Sarah to call them again. I've called them 100 times, Sarah's called them 100 times, and
But my question is, you're planning on getting?
I'm planning on getting
Okay,
internet,
that's
yes.
all I'm asking.
because right now I use the hotspot on my cell phone.
And
To have internet
what do you
access.
get for internet?
I have to get fiber. I don't have a choice. They don't have a copper line anymore. That's directly from Consolidated.
So the,
I heard Consolidated is not giving out any more computer lines at this time because they're all tied up.
No, there's still 2 lines down through there. That's what I was told.
repairs, parts and supplies, so you've spent, you said you've spent 60,000 already.
This
67.
is year to date.
67.
This is year to
Yeah,
date.
yeah. 60,000,
Six-
61,000.
Say almost 61,000 right now.
Okay.
So if we had equipment that really worked,
How much
that
of
would
those
be
were-
a line item.
How much of those repairs were on the grader?
I can't tell you that. Between the equipment, I mean, I would
I mean, it's sort of relevant.
to sit there and break it all apart for each piece of equipment and each truck, it's,
So what did you fix
But
this
you were
year?
telling me.
I have fixed 10-wheelers, I have fixed graders, I have fixed 6-wheelers, I have fixed the
How much did it
backhoe.
cost to fix that piece of shit, what do you call that, the roadside mower?
I don't even, I've lost track. Over the past year and a half with that thing, I put probably anywhere from $10,000 to $13,000 into that thing.
So are you doing the work yourself, Jeff?
No, some of it I've sent out. The roadside mower I've sent out twice.
Okay, but there is work that you or one of the other guys
Yeah.
do,
Oh yeah.
which means that.
95% of it comes from us.
That person who is working on a repair is not working on our roads.
And I can tell you right now, there's 1 to 2 of us in that shop almost daily working on something.
So as a manager and having been a manager for years, I suggest to you that you keep a ledger and keep track of what you're spending on each piece of equipment. That's very important, especially when you're gonna come to the townspeople and ask for something new. You've got something solid. I mean, it doesn't take but a minute to log it in. You know, I'm sure Sarah could help you set up a program to, my office, I keep ledgers on everything, every penny I spend and how I spent it. And that's important, especially if you're gonna try to justify what you're spending. It can't just be, I spent a lot of money on this. You need to have something solid. And if you need somebody to help you, I'd be happy to set it up and keep it for you. It takes but a minute and I'd be more than happy to help you.
Don't look at Jeff's horse in the mouth.
So Jeffrey, is that 73,000 a justifiable amount for next year for
I've
repairs?
already spent 61. I think Catherine has a good valid point though too, if we were ever so lucky to get a new grader and a
Yeah.
huge amount of that money.
A huge amount of it is actually gonna drop off, which actually, I mean, would help,
But we don't
tremendous.
know.
but you don't know that.
Okay, so we're gonna leave 73 for now. Okay. Retirement town head, you really don't have any control over that at all, I don't think, right? So we would have to keep that at 27.
Well, the selectmen, and Sarah must have had some input to this, says 25, and she's the one that does it. So she must have had some,
Yeah, the retirement rate had dropped in June, but they had sent Sarah a letter